Hello everyone, Nana speaking, and by the pencil am I glad that you logged in today. Today I wanted to take you a little bit through the process of my 𝔸𝕤𝕤𝕒 painting. This is also the first time that I'm doing a voiceover, so excuse me if I fumble or stumble or just am generally awkward. I tend to be that way, but I thought I'd just push out of my out of my comfort zone for once. As you can see, first I started out with a general thumbnail sketch. I thumbnailed out all the Baldur's Gate characters and the bookmarks that I did. You can check those out on my TikTok. But yeah, I started with a general thumbnail and then sketched over it. I tend to use my sketch as a line art since I am a crippling perfectionist, and therefore my sketches are pretty clean already. And those parts that are not as clean as I'd like them to be, I can just take care of during rendering and paint over the parts that I don't like. 𝔸𝕤𝕤𝕒 has an amazing side profile. I mean, I already know, everyone already knows that he's gorgeous, but also it was so difficult to draw. I don't know why, but somehow getting his features right and just the elegance of his proportions and the sharpness, but also just capturing that kind of imperfectness in some of his features. It got really difficult, but I was happy with the result in the end. And then I went on to the hair, which was a lot of work. He is probably the one character out of the Baldur's Gate companions that I took the longest for the hair, just because the curls are so intricate and kind of difficult to get down. But I did a good job in the end, I think, with patience and resilience. Next on I went to the body. I had a lot of references open for him and for just general human anatomy, so I would have an easier time. And then over the sketch of the body, I also painted the cloth. The cloth and the composition in general is inspired by Greek statues, the classical ones that everyone knows. And I wanted to get a flowy feeling for the poses and for the cloth as well, so just that everything looked kind of dynamic and graceful. And I hope I achieved that look the way I wanted it to. And maybe, yeah, you can see this theme running through the other characters as well. Also, if you hear my cats in the background, no you didn't, you're crazy and you're hallucinating. Right, and then I finished off the line art / sketch with a thicker outline on the outside, just so that I have an easier time base coloring and masking, and also just because I like the look and feeling of it, as it gives the whole thing kind of a sticker vibe. And yeah, here you can see me selecting and filling in the colors for everything. I already had the background prepared since I used the same background and almost the same frame for every single one of the characters and the bookmark designs. The only thing I changed was the name at the bottom, and also the weapon of choice on the top corners. Oh my god, my cat. George, I swear to god. Anyways, yeah, I filled in all the parts of 𝔸𝕤𝕤𝕒's different elements, like the hair and the cloth and the skin, on different layers, so I'd have an easier time masking and shading in the later process. I've just worked around with this method for a long time, and it always worked out very well for me. I tend to use a lot of layers since I feel like it's more flexible to work with, and if I want to make changes later on, like bigger changes, I have a much easier time doing that. Here I also realized I forgot his earring, and I added that on because I really wanted that included. It's very pretty, and just, yeah. I started off with shading the lights. Kind of feels easier for me to start with lights instead of shadows. I used, okay, thank you cat, thank you, this is great. I used color dodge for blend mode, and then used multiply for the shadows. The shadows are filled in with the lasso tool and a soft airbrush. the soft airbrush just works the best with lasso tool because you get a perfect mixture between hard edges but also soft transitions between shadows and light. And just you also work very fast in general, as I've noticed. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm used to it, but I also feel like it's the fastest coloring method that I've ever used. And I'm not a big fan of just rendering and being very like working very roughly at first. I'm too clingy to perfect details and hard edges and everything to work with rough to detailed process. But yeah, here this is just the rest of, you know, shading in general. And as for me, I wanted to talk a little bit about me as an artist, about my plans for the future, I suppose. I want to create an online presence, and I would like to sell my art and just build a community and just live off my art. I'm currently working on making a catalog and some artworks for conventions and for online shops and stuff like that. And I'm just generally working on making a portfolio for myself and making myself known as an artist, I suppose. It's a long and slow progress, but I felt like I just needed to take on this challenge now, and I'm luckily in a place where I feel safe to do this. I also do work on I'm working on a book right now. I'm trying to write a novel, which is also going to be a very slow progress. But it's been a dream of mine ever since I was a kid, and now I really want to take that on. So don't be surprised if you see my characters popping up here and there, and some lore glimpses or maybe some artworks of set characters. And I would really love your feedback and just your general company on the journey on these lovely characters that I have in my head that I need to bring to paper and to pen. It would mean a lot to me if you would join me on this journey, and it would mean a lot to me if you would let me join you on your journey as well. So if you are an artist or just a content creator of any sort of art, may it be writing or edits or artworks like me, anything that is creative, I would love to follow you on that journey as well. So let me know in the comments or on my other social media platforms, and just reach out. I would love that. Honestly, I'm always happy to get to know new people, and I would love to make a community that supports each other and just is always there to feedback each other and hype each other up and motivate each other. And it would mean a lot to me there's no reason to be like scared or nervous. I know I'm awkward myself, but also I would love to hear from you. Yeah. I can't speak, but that's the finished artwork. And thank you for listening to my awkward rambling. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day, and buy the pencil. Take care of yourself. Much love. I'll see you next time.